Fantastic. Hi, we're here. It's Friday morning, and we're at the Moog stand. And I'm with Amos, who's one of the product specialists, the developers of the product, and he's going to talk us through very quickly the Sub 37, which is a new product which is coming into the UK. £1,200 seems to be the price, and he's going to take us through the main features. So take it away, Amos.
Absolutely. Hello, welcome. This is the Sub 37, new from Moog. This is a 37-note keyboard with aftertouch, wedded to a sound engine based on our very successful Sub Fatty synthesizer we introduced last year. So what's on offer here is 2 rich analog oscillators and a classic Moog filter, but we've absolutely tricked out and extended the range of hands-on capabilities to give you just the most possible expression, the most possible sound design potential. So we'll go over primarily the new features here that are new to this instrument. We have on board an arpeggiator and step sequencer built onto the panel. We also have an LCD display that will let you do preset naming and simple setup, MIDI functionality. The Sub Fatty did not have an LCD. So in the arpeggiator, you have your standard patterns of up, down, order, and random mode, and then there is also step and step record mode. This will let you do simple SH-style step sequencing directly from the panel, which you can then play back very easily. And we also have here directly available on the panel this 16 quick access preset buttons with a bank switch, so you have 16 banks of 16 presets, 256 preset memories directly on offer within 1 or 2 button presses. So very easy to get around. There are 2 fully independent modulation buses. So we have 2 LFOs with all of the standard wave shapes and additional programmable modulation sources. You've got fully bipolar modulation controls here and a selectable programmable mod destination with a laundry list of modulation destinations. Just to get a little bit less technical, this means that you have multiple independent ways to move the sound around as you're playing that keeps it very alive, very organic, and very rich, which is what Moog is known for. Moving into the oscillator section, we've added another very nice new feature, duo mode here. This is labeled a paraphonic analog synthesizer. You can play 2 notes paraphonically, which means they run through the same filter, same amplifier, but in duo mode you can choose whether oscillator 2 is tracking the high note or the low note, and you can play intervals directly from the keys, which is new to Moog's formerly monophonic synthesizers. In the mixer section, we've added on-off switches similar to the Mini Moog Model D, which lets you dial in a precise level and then bring it in and out very quickly and easily. And another very nice new feature that's new to the Sub 37 is this feedback control. We've got a dedicated volume control for external input. You can process external audio directly through the instrument just by plugging into the 1/4-inch external input jack on the side, 5mm. If nothing is connected, feedback runs the entire mix of all the oscillators back through the external input, and then you can overdrive an incredibly rich and distorted sound that is a new flavor for Moog. That's in series with the multi-drive circuit, which we introduced in the Sub Fatty. So you've got mixer feedback that's before the filter, and then multi-drive wrapped around the filter lets you completely shape the gain and saturation in really new and exciting ways.
Could you show us something that sounds like?
Sure, absolutely. Like, yeah. Right, so with no feedback, no multi-drive, we've got a very simple sound here. I think we do. I'm going to just quickly dial in a simple sound. All right. So there's a very classic Moog 2-oscillator sawtooth sound. And as we bring in the feedback, we can bring it into this rich, sort of unstable territory, almost like an amplifier breaking up directly within the instrument. And then, of course, you have control of that through the filter. I'll do a nice little filter sweep here. We're on the Namm show floor, so it's difficult for me to hear, but I'm sure you can hear it rather well. I'll add a touch of multi-drive as well, bringing the sound up. There we go. Now you can hear that instability. We can actually completely break up the sound, but then you can dial it back a little bit. There's that lovely Moog filter, and this would be a good time to point out that you have a controllable filter slope directly from the panel. You can set 6, 12, 18, or 24 decibels per octave cutoff, which gives you 4 different flavors of the classic Moog filter. You can hear it goes from aggressive. All right, and so that sound is our stock and trade. It's what we're known for,
Yeah.
and here it is, bigger, bolder, and better than ever.
Yeah.
And very quickly, to finish out the panel, the envelope generators section is, we've added some very sophisticated performance controls here that are very easy to access. You can latch the envelopes on, which is very nice for processing external audio. You don't need to tape a key down or do anything. This latch on just turns on the gate. And the envelopes can loop, so they can be an additional modulation source, which is very nice. You can have amplitude modulation or filter modulation with these looping latched envelopes. They can sync to MIDI clock. The LFOs can sync to MIDI clock, as can the arpeggiator, so you can have fully synchronized modulation that's following the beat of your music. And with 2 independent LFOs and 2 envelopes with looping capability, there are 4 independent cyclical modulation sources, which allows for, as I was saying, rich, moving, dynamic sound. Something that you won't get with a static sample or a simpler engine. It's really an alive instrument.
So, play us your favorite sound. What's your favorite sound of the synth?
Well, to be very honest, this is an early prototype that we're getting a quick look at, and so we haven't had time to do a lot of sound design. My favorite sound is on another physical instrument, because we've been designing sounds as we go on each one. There's not a bank of presets yet, but I'll see if I can dial something in here. One of the things I like is the sound of hard sync on oscillator 2. That gives you a... So there's a hard sync sound, and now I'm going to use the power of these 2 modulation buses. I'll just quickly set up this mod bus here to modulate only oscillator 2. You can hear that going on there. And on the mod bus 1, I'll set up some filter modulation. So there's that, and now I'll just turn on the arpeggiator, turn on the step sequencer here, and let's see, one moment. All right, so on the spur of the moment, not a bad sound there.
Not a bad sound yet.
Truly a galaxy of possibilities in there. You can just endlessly evolve and find your own sound.
And when are we going to start seeing this?
We should be shipping in May.
So, fantastic. Thanks very much, Amos. That was
my pleasure.
excellent. Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Cheers.
great.